Welcome to my kitchen. This coconut mango cake is a modern twist on my grandmom's coconut recipe. Yes, this has been in our family. 3 generations of bakers. I'm going to show you how to make that mango curd filling in between. And I'm going to show you this magical cream cheese Swiss meringue buttercream. So stick around. So preheat your oven to 350 degrees and let's get knocking. This cake uses the reverse creaming method. The reverse creaming method starts with sifting together all your dry ingredients and then adding the butter. It's real interesting. So you just take 2 1/4 cups of cake flour, 3 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 1/2 cups of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. And we'll just help that around a little bit. Sifting gets all the lumps out and makes for a finer crumb. Now, beat in 1 tablespoon of butter at a time. And this is going to coat the butter with the flour. Less chance of gluten forming. And when it starts looking like breadcrumbs, add in 2/3 cup of coconut milk and 4 egg whites and beat for 2 minutes. My grandmom actually wrote that on her recipe card. And to the remaining 1/3 cup of coconut milk, add a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract, and 2 teaspoons of coconut extract. And beat that all in too. Now, at this point, you want to scrape down your bowl and look for any hidden treasures at the bottom. And then fold in 1 cup of shredded coconut. And I'm going to do this by hand. A nice healthy cup. And folding it in by hand helps prevent overbeating and gluten from forming. And spray 2 8-inch pans with baking spray with flour and line the bottoms with parchment. And I use baking strips. Gives you flat tops every time. It's just a strip of fabric that goes around the outside, and it changes the baking process so you don't get that dome on top. And fill each pan evenly and bake for 30 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. It's ready! And while the cakes are cooling, let's make this delicious mango curd. You take 1 cup of pureed mango. You can always tell they're ripe. They smell sweet and they're a little tender if you squeeze them. Take 2 eggs and 2 egg yolks. Whisk together. Add 5 tablespoons of butter, 1/2 cup of sugar, and add your mango puree. And it only took 1 mango to make that 1 cup. And 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Whisk constantly because you don't want it to burn or scald anywhere on the corners. And then pour your egg yolk mixture in. And whisk this till it comes up to 170 degrees. It only takes a few minutes. And you're just going to take it and pass it through a fine mesh sieve. This is going to make it creamier and silkier. And it's going to catch any scrambled eggs we might have made. Yep, we made a few scrambled eggs. You can see them. And don't forget the bottom. Look at all of that. Now this is looking a little green to me, so I'm just going to add a few drops of yellow food coloring. 1, 2, 3. Cover it with plastic wrap, and that'll keep its skin from forming. And chill it in the refrigerator. And it'll firm right up. We're gonna take the cool cream cheese and mix that with that bakery style Swiss meringue buttercream. Hey, well, grab your whisk attachment and reboot your genie. We'll start with 7 egg whites and 2 cups of sugar. You want to bring this up to 160 degrees. And make sure your water doesn't touch the bottom of the pan. And whisk it constantly. And you want to set out your cream cheese and your butter on the counter and get that coming to room temperature. And here's a cheat. So just leave it in the warm water for 10 minutes and it'll be ready. And this way is actually safer than leaving it on the counter for a few hours. And you can add a pinch of kosher salt too, if you don't want it as sweet. I like just a pinch because that balances the flavor. And whisk constantly until it reaches 160 degrees. We're gonna pasteurize those eggs. All right, it's ready. And then to cool it down to our butter's temperature, I put it in a bucket of ice. And it only takes like 15 minutes. And if the meringue is too hot, it'll melt the butter and you'll just get egg white soup. Blah! And whisk that to stiff peaks. That's stiff peaks. And 65 degrees is my magic number. And it all comes together. Now you just add in the butter, 1 chunk at a time, about 2 tablespoons. Whisk it in, put in another tablespoon or 2, big chunk. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. If you're gonna pipe any buttercream flowers, take out your Swiss meringue right now because the Swiss meringue with the cream cheese doesn't pipe flowers very well. And then take 2 bricks or 16 ounces of cream cheese and beat them until they're nice and smooth. Now you just add in your Swiss meringue buttercream, a glop at a time. That's about a cupful, I'd say. It doesn't take long. So pipe your flowers. It's not really hard. And if you mess up, you just put it back into the bowl and try again. And then freeze them for 15 minutes and you can place them on your cake by hand. And here's the trick to keep your cake filling from oozing out the sides. You put just a thin layer of frosting, pipe a dam around the edges and fill it in. And I put a little beehive in the middle. It's kind of like a pillar, so it keeps the roof up. Then fill up your pool with your mango curd and finish frosting it. I like to put some shredded coconut along the walls, along the sides. And place your frozen flowers on top. They're not gonna sweat or anything. They're perfectly fine. Isn't it beautiful? So tropical. I want to do the hula. Anyway, I hope you had fun today. If you did, give it a like, thumbs up, leave a comment, and boop that bell. So that way you'll be notified when I make my next video. Oh, that's so cool.